Okay, here's the setup. Today we have a nice day. We can be outside and make a little bit of noise and a bit of unpleasant dust or particulate matter. I have, of dubious origin, acquired a special tool. Piece of tooling. This is approximately a 1-inch carbide tipped router bit. And with it, we intend to do something to this slant 6 that should never be attempted. One of the major performance shortcomings in a slant 6, in its, stock form, the pistons are way down in the hole even when they're all the way up. They don't reach zero deck like a 170 type engine. So this block is too tall. It's thick, you can mill, but good luck finding a machine shop that will affordably agree to do such a job. It's a heavy block, and milling all that cast iron, they're going to want to charge you more than you want to pay, and they know it. And by the time they're done milling down to the top of this piston, the bores are going to be free. Now, we can epoxy them in, but the machine shop doesn't want to be involved in any of that unless there is gold and Bitcoin involved. And I'm just not a rich person, and when it's all said and done, it'll still be a slant 6. Anyone who has been unfortunate enough to fall in love with the slant 6 will tell you that you can't really explain it. It happens. And so the reason I must attempt to mill this block at home with sketchy equipment is because I'm not very bright. Don't try this at home, it's dangerous. I'm not going to succeed. I can already tell you it's going to, somewhere along the line, fail in a practical way that you will realize that you cannot duplicate this. So if you think you could do this, I'm here to show you that it can't be done. And I think I've proven that I know how to do things that can't be done effectively. When I was making that oil pump into a supercharger, it can't be done on an economical way. That's the thing, is with enough money, you can do anything. But I'm saying on a home budget with, I have a router of also dubious worldly origin that we are going to use here. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this block free, right? We're not going to do it right. We've taken one piston out as an example. The other pistons, we're just going to leave them in there because we don't care. It's going to get ruined in this attempt. And I'm going to prove to you that I can't do it because I'm not smart enough. And I'm too cheap to do it the right way. But it also, I will free myself and this block. We've just built 2 slant 6s in the last 2 years, and I don't think anybody, you can go back and watch, I don't think anybody wants to, there's other projects, and only so many years of life to work on projects. So, if we can't, by force of will, what are the odds of that ladybug landing on the lens like that? Ladybug, go away. Go away. Go on, thank you. By sheer force of will, we will attempt to turn this low compression, run-of-the-mill slant 6 block into something spectacular. And if, or more likely when we fail, we will be able to set ourselves free of that ambition and move on to other things and make room on the stand for the LA 318 that is parked in that truck, and I need to get it out of there because I have a different engine to put in that. I just did too many engines. It doesn't seem like a problem I ever thought I would have, but right now it is. I am responsible for the fate and the future of this engine, and I'm feeling there's a lot of stress here, anxiety, like I gotta do this, or else we're gonna lose the shop. So, I'm gonna load up this, I'm gonna put on my hearing and eye protection, and then I'm going to set a very small amount and see if we can do anything without tearing this up or exploding something. And if we can, we're just gonna push it well past what its limit should really be, and see if we can get these pistons popping out of the holes and giving us real compression. Right about now, I would think that there's a large number of you that have questions forming in your mind. And see, this is the inspiration part of doing even dumb things. Now the wheels are turning, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. This could fail at the very first nick. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. I have not even powered up this electrical device in the 2 years that I've lived here. So, with some finagling I have learned, and I have set the depth of this blade to a near minimum. I would say less than a 1/16 of an inch. I don't care exactly how much, because I'm going to be able to continue to index to the parts that I don't cut. And I'm going to take, I've taken a little bit of time. I want to maintain this edge, and I don't want to cut into this far edge. So I can cut any of this inside stuff, I can cut any of the inside experimentally, and not lose the index of what my factory deck height was. And that is my goal. I have some goals, some ideas of how I move forward in the future, but unsolved problems are for future Kim. Let's see what we can mess up in the moment. Cows are over there mooing away excitedly. I have electricity. This thing's gonna be loud. Maybe I'll wear hearing protection for the first time, well, maybe ever. Woo! Okay, well, that test is out of the way. Let's put on our dirty old ear hole goggles. Let's see what happens. Okay, cross your fingers. It didn't explode. Burned my arm a little, but it didn't explode. It actually cut through that cast iron kind of like butter. Let me show you. All right, well, that's not so bad. Well, let's just do it all. What the heck? All right, I'll set you up and we'll do a time lapse. I'll see how much of this I can go. We're gonna have to do it in multiple passes. There's no way I'm gonna do this all. So yeah, I don't want to hit it too hard, too deep, too quick. So let's take our time and mess it up slowly. We'll really savor the destruction of our own wealth. This is going to work. If I expect this to truly work, I'm going to need a better guide out here, because rocking this way makes a real problem. I've also found that if you come into a corner, like the way that you move the router around is going to matter a lot, because if it catches a corner, it wants to, you know, chatter. So you really have to, like, well, I haven't ruined it yet, and that's interesting. Very interesting. This is inconceivable! Alright, I'm getting impatient. This is slow going. And I really thought we would have been, it would have been over with by now, but we're still going. I want to see if we can actually dig this down to the point where we would have zero deck with this. And so, I have depthened, I have reset the cutting pieces by quite a bit. And I can see there's quite a bit of wear out of these, but they're still cutting, so I'm going to keep going. And they turn, I can turn them to get a nice sharp edge when it's time again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use them. That's deep. That's like a 1/4 inch cut. So let's see if we can do this dumbness. Hey, I'm having fun if nothing else. Well, there it goes. I've overheated and ruined the router bit. You see, it's lost its mounting and jackknifed. In the process, it's dug in way too deep, ruining this piece. It really is a shame. Saving that. Perhaps if I had all the time in the world, or if I had the patience of, well, someone else, maybe this would be possible. Maybe if I had, you know, big YouTuber money to work on whatever, well, I would just send this off and forget about it and work on something else till someone else, you know, essentially did it for me. It's not practical. I was told it's not going to be practical. I'll save the crank and the main caps. Pre-67 engines have a smaller pilot and are not necessarily the most desirable. Slant 6s are still pretty easy to find in the wild, in rebuildable condition, which this is really just a rebuilder. So thanks for coming along and watching my crazy experiment fail. I had a feeling it would, and now you know why. Have a great day. We'll see you again soon.